Hi everyone, it's Cindy from Horse Family Magazine. Figuring out your horse's nutritional requirements can be challenging, and that's why I've asked Ashley Hansen, Purina Livestock Production Specialist, to join us today and talk about the nutrition your horse requires regardless of age. She'll also address specific requirements for horses with special health issues. Ashley's a specialist in equine nutrition and began her education at Blackhawk College in Kewanee, Illinois, and went on to receive her undergrad degree in animal sciences from the West Texas A&M University. From there, she received her master's in animal science, specifically equine nutrition, from New Mexico State University. Ashley participated on the judging and show teams during her college years and continues showing and judging the AQHA circuit to this day. She knows her stuff, and we're excited she's here. So let's get started.
So I actually get that question quite a bit, and I will say that most horses I look at really fall into that category. Most aren't special needs in any way. A lot of times they're 4-year-olds to 15-year-olds and they're healthy and doing well. So when I get to a barn like that maybe want to be a little bit more cost effective and maybe they're not competing at extremely high level where they need those really extremely high calorie diets, I often go to one of these products, which would be the Strategy or Impact 12%. Why I do that is because they're considered an all life stages feed. Both of them are. So they can be fed to babies up to mature horses that don't have any special needs. So that's cool. They're very flexible. And what's nice about that is usually barns or boarding places have horses of varied levels of ages and want to feed a simple feeding program. So when I go to those situations, I think of one of these two products usually. If it's a barn that maybe is showing a little bit more, wants a little bit higher protein product, I will typically suggest the Strategy because it's a 14% protein, which is plenty for a growing horse as well as a showing horse, one that's performing or working, and it has the Outlast product in it. So it has that gastric support built into it. And this one comes at just a little bit higher of a price point just because it has the Outlast in it. But great for that whole gamut of horses in that age group. Very palatable, 6% protein or 6% fat, so very nice product that's flexible. The Impact 12% is great too. It maybe just doesn't have as many of the bells and whistles as Strategy would have. It doesn't have Outlast in it. And it's a little lower protein, but it's a great maintenance diet too. There's also some barns that are training horses are on this product too. So very flexible, great for all life stages, and just comes at maybe a little bit lower of a price point too. So some great options for your barn if you have a variety of ages. Some of these all life stage products might be a good fit for you. That's a great question because actually a lot of times people will feed one scoop of grain no matter if their horses are chunky or thin or it's been 5 years and now they're 7. So I would say I don't know if there's a real timeline to do it. Just constantly kind of be looking and evaluating. Make sure you're doing your body condition score with your horses. If you have a horse that's maturing, so that 1 to 3 years old, 4 years old range could be on a growth feed or a mare and foal feed. And once they get to that 5 years old range or 4 years old range, could be moved up to an adult feed or an all life stages feed. So I think it's sure helpful to have a professional come out, like an animal nutritionist come out maybe once a year or every 6 months to kind of help you look through things. But also just feel free, I would say, evaluate it every day that you feed those horses. Try to make sure to keep a tabs on their body condition score and their top line and how they're doing. And don't be afraid to change up how much you're feeding them. If they're chunky, cut them down a little bit. If they're a little bit more thin because maybe your pasture isn't doing quite as well, then don't be afraid to bump them up a little bit more too. So it's not set in stone, it's off their body condition score and their weights and how they're performing too. So. Well, we typically say that their feed should be 2% of their body weight, and that's forage and grain included. So a lot of times that hay percentage should be 1.2% of their body weight up to 2% of their body weight. So that could be like 2% being their whole feeding program being hay, and that 1.2% up to that amount being filled in with some grain too. So you can do your math on your horse's weight and what that kind of calculates out to. And typically, I see horses very well being fed our Purina products from 1 pound of our enriched product per day up to maybe 4 pounds per feeding, which would be a very high competing horse that's really competing at a high level. I was actually just down at our research farm this week, and it's awesome to see how much research is done there and our PhDs. And actually, when I presented my research in grad school, I met one of our PhDs presenting as well. So that was cool. There wasn't any other feed companies presenting their research. So it was neat that Purina's representing, and I think they're presenting more this upcoming year too. So very cool.